Sorry, let me turn this off. Distracting. All right, we will have an important topic to discuss today. So the question is, who is controlling the Chinese military? Is it Xi Jinping or is it Zhang Youxia? Well, like I said many times before, there's never a dull moment in Chinese politics. We've covered the power struggles in the Chinese military quite extensively in November and actually in October and November. At one point, we concluded that the vice chairman of CMC, Chinese Military Commission, Zhang Youxia, now controls the PLA. However, things suddenly became murky again. The leadership of the Chinese military has undergone significant upheaval. Beijing uncharacteristically announced the downfall of one of Xi Jinping's key loyalists, Admiral Miao Hua, who handles personnel for Xi in the military. And the newly promoted defense minister and the newly promoted commander of the rocket force are rumored to be under investigation. This news, or these collective developments, seems to support the claim that Xi Jinping has lost power to his vice chairman. However, others argue that Xi is still firmly in control, and it is Zhang Youxia who is now in trouble. So today, let's solve the mystery. Who really is in charge of the Chinese military? We'll first review the latest personnel changes. You might have already heard some of it because Western media has reported the news. I will present you the arguments supporting two drastically different views. And then we'll quickly touch on the impact of Taiwan, or the impact on Taiwan at the end. So first things first, I want to make sure people can hear me okay. Yes? Can people hear me okay? I just want to make sure. Can someone let me know? Is my audio on? Yeah? Loud and clear. All right, thank you. Thank you, Jeff Ramos. All right. Oh, okay, good. Unexpected fire. Neil Weeks. Okay, good. People can hear me. That's great. All right. Let's first talk about what has happened. Well, on November 11th, two Chinese dissidents based in the U.S. disclosed that one of Xi Jinping's close allies, in charge of PLA personnel, who is the director of political work, Admiral Miao Hua, was detained for investigation. And one of them revealed that Miao was taken away with a hood over his head. And many of the residents in his neighborhood saw him taken away. I covered the topic in my November 12th program, which was called When Xi is Away, Others Will Play. When the cat is away, mouse will play. Anyways, that was my November 12th program. I said that in that program, I said that China's Defense Minister Dong Jun and the Rocket Force Commander Wang Houbin might be in trouble soon because there are two PLA leaders promoted due to the support by the disgraced admiral. And I also said that while Xi Jinping was away for APEC and G20 summit for 9 days, domestic politics can get ugly during his prolonged absence. Sure enough, on November 27th, the Financial Times reported that the defense minister is being investigated as part of anti-corruption work. And a few days ago, the same dissidents who disclosed Miao's investigation now reveal that the newly promoted Rocket Force commander, Wang Houbin, also faced investigation. So confirming, my analysis at the time. And then on 27th, the day the Financial Times report was published, China's foreign ministry spokeswoman was asked about this, and she claimed that the Financial Times report was making a mountain out of a molehill during Q&A. However, her answer on the status of the defense minister was removed from the foreign ministry's published text of the presser later. And this provoked more speculation. And then the very next day, China's defense ministry spokesperson, not foreign ministry, defense ministry spokesperson, denied, it's a man, Wu Qian, right? He denied the claim that his boss, the defense minister, is under investigation, and he called it misinformation. But he surprisingly revealed that a more senior leader, the CMC member, or a CMC member, Admiral Miao Hua, was placed under investigation. And that evening, state media formally announced Miao is suspected of serious disciplinary violations, and the central authority had decided to suspend him for inspection. And here, central authority refers to Xi Jinping. So comparing this to how the CCP handled the missing foreign minister Qin Gang and the former defense minister Li Shangfu, this quick announcement is uncharacteristic of the CCP. It confirmed that the rumor from 2 weeks ago was in fact correct, and that the Chinese word rumor, 谣言, literally means a present prophecy, or 遥遥领先的预言. Right? 谣言 is 遥遥领先的预言. A prescient prophecy. That's what it means. Rumor means that. So although the Chinese military has denied the investigation of the defense minister, China observers remain pessimistic about his future. For example, during the Asian defense ministers' meeting in Laos, Dong refused to meet with his counterpart, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. At the time, the Chinese blamed the U.S., but in hindsight, it seems likely that Dong Jun wasn't given the authority to meet his American counterpart because he was already what Chinese called a fish on the chopping board. When Singapore's Chief of Defense, Vice Admiral Aaron Ban visited China last week, Dong Jun, being his counterpart, didn't meet him. Instead, General Liu Zhengli, Chief of Staff of the Joint Staff Department, met with the Singaporean official. So if Dong Jun's investigation is confirmed, he will become the third consecutive Chinese defense minister to fall due to corruption, following Wei Fenghe and Li Shangfu. It will make Xi Jinping look very bad. To save face, the CCP would have to deny it, at least for now. One Chinese dissident said that Dong is under house arrest. Dong Jun is not taken away. He's not detained, but he's under house arrest. And he was interrogated by the team of investigators working on Miao's case. And Dong has given damaging information about his mentor, the admiral. So what will happen to the defense minister? I think the CCP, to save Xi Jinping's face, I think the CCP may even let him appear in public occasionally, just to prove the fact that he's around. But it's only done to save Xi Jinping's face. But his military career is over. Now, I said the same dissidents who disclosed Miao's downfall also exposed that the current rocket force commander, Wang Houbing, actually, I forgot to show you pictures. Just in case you want to match names with faces, here's Admiral Miao Hua. Here's the defense minister, Dong Jun. And here's the current rocket force commander. Now, Wang Houbing served as chief of staff of the South Sea Fleet. He has been in Navy. Both Dongjun and Wang Houbing came from the Navy. So he was the chief of staff of the South Sea Fleet, and later as the deputy chief of staff of the Navy. And Miao was the Navy's political commissar. So these two, Wang and Miao, were close. And Wang's rapid promotions are widely attributed to Miao's influence. So for example, it took Wang only 1 year to be promoted from Deputy Chief of Staff of the East Sea Fleet to Chief of Staff of the South Sea Fleet. And within another year, he was promoted to Deputy Chief of Staff of the Navy. That's fast-tracked. And last year, he was promoted from Deputy Commander of the Navy to Commander of the Rocket Force. So not only was promoted one rank higher from Vice Admiral to Admiral, but he also crossed military services, because the Rocket Force is a high-tech military force. And people were surprised that they didn't promote somebody from within the Rocket Force, but they promoted somebody from Navy. And similarly, Dongjun was only deputy commander of the East Sea Fleet in 2013, and then was promoted to the PLA's Navy's deputy chief of staff a year later, and then deputy commander of South Theater Command in January 2017. And in March 2021, he became the deputy commander of the Navy. And then 5 months later, he became the commander of the Navy. And then he was named the defense minister last December. So their meteoric rise was made possible by Miao Hua, who handles promotions within the PLA. And for the past 7 years, Miao has been managing personnel appointments for Xi Jinping within the PLA. So he's considered one of Xi Jinping's diehard loyalists. And other than personnel, his other responsibility is to ensure PLA's loyalty to Xi. Now, unlike other PLA leaders such as Zhang Youxia, so let's talk about Miao Hua. I just want to match face with the name. So let me just come back. So let's talk about Miao Hua. Unlike other PLA leaders, for example, Zhang Youxia, who had war experience, is a princeling, and whose father handled Mao Zedong's security. Yeah, Zhang Youxia's father at one point handled Mao Zedong's security. So Zhang Youxia has very strong background in the PLA, right? So unlike other military leaders like Zhang Youxia, Miao's military experience is somewhat weak. His only authority came from Xi Jinping, and his only authority is from the trust Xi Jinping has in him. So his downfall has significant rippling effect. So it was certainly, people say without a doubt, will affect the newly promoted defense minister and rocket force commander. So now that brings us the most important question, which is the title of this video. So who took Miao down? Is it Xi Jinping himself? If so, that means Xi Jinping is still in power and is willing to take down one of his diehard loyalists, and at all cost, right? And it sort of indirectly confirmed Xi Jinping's confidence. So if he's willing to sacrifice or take down one of his most trusted men in the military, that means he's still very confident, or else he wouldn't take him down. And it could be easy for him just to cover up for him, because they're all corrupt. Or is it a move by Zhang Youxia, the de facto the claimed de facto PLA leader, who has been hunting down Xi Jinping's loyalists in the military one by one in the past months. The latest, I have covered this extensively in the month of October and maybe early parts of November. I asked Chris to include the links of the previous videos where I talked about all the personnel changes that has benefited Zhang Youxia in the past month or two in my previous live streams, and you can watch them if you haven't followed me then. And by the way, that's a good reason for you to subscribe to my channel. I always forget to mention this. So yes, so if you haven't subscribed, please do, because there's so much storms ahead of us. So yeah, please subscribe. All right, so the latest purge, people say the latest purge of Miao is definitely Zhang Youxia's move, and it happened during Xi Jinping's absence, attending APEC and G20. So let me present the two drastically different views for you right now, for you to decide. The first view can be summarized as the following. So in normal situation, Xi Jinping wouldn't want to take down people from his inner circles because his situation is already very fragile, right? So he is, the fact that he's forced to take out Admiral Miao Hua means that he has lost control of the military to his vice chairman, Zhang Youxia. And it was in fact Zhang Youxia who has taken out Miao Hua, and Xi Jinping could not have prevented that from happening. So currently, so according to this view, both the military and retired political elites or retired CCP seniors or senior leaders support Zhang Youxia. And dissatisfaction with Xi Jinping within the military is very high. And since coming to power, Xi has continuously purged officials, and his military reforms have thrown the armed forces into chaos. His aggressive push for a Taiwan invasion plan has faced strong opposition from the military. As a result, the military has largely turned against him, and now that Zhang Youxia has stepped up, the military supports him. And basically, I mean, without officially declaring anything, without saying anything, but Xi's authority over the military has effectively been nullified. And one example they gave is that from 2018 to 2022, Xi Jinping issued, sort of at the end of his military reforms, or since the completion or conclusion of his military reforms, Xi Jinping issued what they call the PLA number 1 order, or command number 1, or should say PLA's command number 1. It's like in sequential orders. So the first one in the year always was issued on New Year's Day, and it was always to kick off military training for that year. And so basically in peacetime, the training is the core function of the military. So that has been going on since 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. So it has been going on for what, 5 years? 8, 9, 10, or maybe 6 years. Yeah, it has been going on for 6 years consecutively. That has become sort of the PLA's tradition under Xi Jinping. However, in 2023 and 2024, the CMC's command number 1 was not made public. So either he didn't issue the order to kick off the PLA's training in the past 2 years at all. Either he just didn't, such command was not issued, or he did so in a very low-key manner without making it public. So this view supports this view also supports the widespread rumors circulating on the internet that Xi Jinping will step down as General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party and Chairman of the Central Military Commission at the upcoming 4th plenary session of the 20th Party Congress. We just had the 3rd plenary session of the 20th Party Congress last July, last summer, which should have taken place in the fall of the previous year. I shouldn't say last July. Yeah, I mean, July of 2024. It is last July. So the 3rd plenary session should have taken place in the fall of 2023. It was postponed to the summer of 2024. So now people are saying that at the next plenary session, which we don't know the exact date yet, but it's expected to be next year, summer next year, in the first half of next year. That's what most people say. It could also be in the spring, which is only a few months away if you think about it. Yeah, it's only what, 4 or 5 months away. So people say that it will be announced that Xi Jinping will relinquish his position as the leader of the party and also leader of the military. But to save his face, he will be allowed to retain the title of the president of China. But that position does not hold real power. And people say that Zhang Youxia will be made the chairman of the CMC, and someone else will become the new party leader. And Wang Huning, which has suddenly stepped forward into the limelight recently, is a possible choice or a possible candidate. I covered that in my last released video. I think I released a scripted video or edited a short video yesterday morning. So excuse me, if you haven't seen that, you could take a look. Of course, these are all speculations and rumors, of course, but given how accurately, rumors have predicted actual development or preceded actual development, we shouldn't discredit these claims. Okay, so that's view number 1. Okay, that means view number 1 is saying that Zhang Youxia is in fact the leader of the PLA. The other view believes that Xi Jinping is still controlling the military and will remain power, even though his power has been significantly weakened or reduced. This view holds that Xi took down Miao Hua, Admiral Miao Hua himself, due to serious corruption by monetizing military promotions. Let me hold on. Let me get rid of these. I don't know if these pictures, maybe these pictures should. This is Dongjing. Oh, sorry. Where are we? Okay, here we go. Yeah, so this is the slide that's applicable here. So is it Xi Jinping or is it Miao Hua who are in control? So the second view says that Xi Jinping took down Miao because the guy is seriously corrupt, and he monetized his power in military promotions. Now, paying a big sum to seek promotion was a common practice in the PLA during Jiang Zemin and Hu Jintao's time. Every military rank had a price tag. It was widely reported that company commander, or the rank of company commander costs 200,000 yuan, which is about $30,000. For a battalion commander position or rank, it costs 300,000 yuan or $45,000. And for a regimental commander rank, it's 1 million yuan or $140,000. Now, the commander of a military theater is 20 million yuan or $3 million US. These were the going prices 10 years ago. But this practice was said that the practice was never completely stamped out. It has continued to now. Now, if you think about it, to have that kind of money to pay their superior for a promotion, PLA officers at every level and rank must monetize their authority and demand payments from their subordinates, because they have to collect money from their subordinates first to amass some wealth before they can use the money to bribe their superior for a higher position. Otherwise, where would they have the amount of money? I mean, there are exorbitant amount of money. So if you want to be promoted, you have to engage in corrective practice, right? And that's why corruption cannot be stamped out in the PLA. And the person who has benefited the most is the head of HR. Xi Jinping was upset when he took over the military from Jiang Zemin and Hu Jintao. He vowed to eradicate the practice of this, this quote unquote buying a military rank. However, his head of HR in the military is as corrupt as his predecessor. So Xi has no choice but to remove him. The other argument supporting this theory is that Zhang Youxia has not been seen in public since his high-profile visit to Vietnam from October 24th to 26th, where he was received like a head of state. And in fact, the person who announced Admiral Miao Hua's investigation to all of the military was the other vice chairman, Zhang Youxia's adversary, and another Xi Jinping loyalist, He Weidong. Do I have a picture of him? Oh, no. Oh, here we go. Oh, this guy. So this makes Zhang's situation more precarious. So it's been more than a month. Why haven't we seen him? So those who believe Xi Jinping still controls the military say that Xi Jinping Zhang Youxia is in trouble, that he's being watched by Xi Jinping. The fact that we have not seen him for more than a month spells trouble for Zhang. However, those who believe Zhang is in control says Zhang purposely stayed low-key while taking out Xi Jinping's loyalists one by one. So it's hard to tell, as both arguments have valid points. Now, let me continue to say the official announcement of Admiral Miao Hua's investigation, regardless of who initiated it, even if it was directly deployed and commanded by Xi Jinping, will deal a severe blow to Xi Jinping's authority within the military. Like I said, unlike Zhang Youxia, who came from a strong military background, Admiral Miao Hua's only credit in the military is his support from Xi Jinping. Their personal relationship, which dates back 30 years, when they were both in Fujian, is what empowers Admiral Miao. And the one who promoted Miao, as the person who has empowered Admiral Miao Hua, Xi Jinping cannot escape criticism for his poor judgment in selecting Miao. So if Xi Jinping cannot or chooses not to protect Miao Hua, it signals a weakening of his power. And if Xi Jinping believes Miao Hua is disloyal or insufficiently loyal, right, partially loyal or disloyal, then who else in the military is still loyal to him? There's really none. So this spells big trouble for Xi Jinping. Now, currently, apart from Miao Hua, apart from the three military leaders I've already discussed, Miao Hua, Dong Jun, and Wang Houbing, namely the head of HR, the defense minister, and then the commander of the rocket force. Several other top military leaders who have ties to Miao are also rumored to be in trouble. And these include Navy's new commander, Hu Zhongming. Let me show you a picture of him. Where is he? Hu Zhongming. Yeah, I think this is, no, not this guy. Not this guy. Where is he? This is the, where is Hu Zhongming? No, where Hu Zhongming? I don't know. Do I have him? No, I don't have a Hu Zhongming. Oh, here it is. Hu Zhongming. I can't see the text on my screen. This is not it. Yeah, Wang Chuning. Oh, maybe I didn't do that. Hu Zhongming, where is it? Okay, I don't have a picture of him. I think I missed his picture. Nope, don't have him. Okay. Sorry, I don't have a picture of him, but he is the current commander of Navy. So he's one, and the other person is Ling Xiangyang, the commander of the Eastern Theater Command and a former subordinate of Miao Hua. And I do have a picture of him, and that's this guy. All right, so these two are said to be in trouble. Now, I told you that during one of Xi Jinping's recent trips to Fujian and Anhui to inspect the rocket force, Ling Xiangyang, who is based in Fujian, didn't come out to welcome Xi. It was odd, right? And of the 5 military theaters, Ling, who's from the Eastern Theater, is the only remaining commander who is a Xi Jinping ally or a Xi Jinping loyalist. He's also the one responsible for any military operations against Taiwan, because the Eastern Military Theater is responsible for that. So if he is out, that means CCP's war on Taiwan will be postponed indefinitely, unless they, until they come up with a replacement. Additionally, Wang Chuning, the commander of the armed police force, who is this guy, is also said, who's also an old colleague of Miao, has been missing from key meetings with the police force. His usual seat was now occupied by the political commissar of the armed police force, Zhang Hongbin. So with all these other PLA leaders whose status is questionable, it becomes very important for us to understand who's actually controlling the PLA. So let's come back to the question, who is controlling the PLA? Is it Xi Jinping or Zhang Youxia? I have a third option, that is neither. That's my third option. Neither one is controlling the PLA. The two sides are in an ugly fight, and neither has full control of the military. The infighting among the top ranks of the Chinese military is extremely intense, and the Central Military Commission is essentially paralyzed. Of the 7-member commission, which is now reduced to 6, it's only a 6-person. Here we go. It's only 6 people. Now, it used to be 7. After Li Shangfu, they never replaced him with Dong Jun. So it's now 6. Now, with Miao Hua out, that left the commission with 5 people. And of the 5 people, 2 belongs to Xi Jinping. So it's Xi Jinping and his other vice chairman, He Weidong. And the other 3, Zhang Youxia, and then Liu Zhengli and Zhang Shenming, are in one faction. So it's a fight between, it's a 2-3 fight, right? It's a 2-3 fight. And it's reported that the PLA's morale is extremely low. Navy and the rocket force are the most important military services to Xi Jinping to serve his ambition in the Taiwan Strait. However, both functions or both services have been severely decapacitated in the past 12 months. When 2 to 3 successive leadership teams of the Defense Ministry, of the Rocket Force, and vast many past leaders of the Navy are locked up or investigated. The morale in these military services have been killed. It must be terrible news to Xi Jinping, but good news for Taiwan. So Miao Hua's downfall means that Xi Jinping's influence in the military has evaporated. So far, the person who benefits, from the earthquake, for now, it's hard to tell who is in control. But the longer the PLA's leadership chaos drags on like this, then the person who benefits from this chaos is Zhang Youxia, because he will be more empowered, and Xi Jinping will continue to be, his power will be weakened. So let's do a survey now. Who is controlling the Chinese military? Vote 1 if you think it's Xi Jinping. Vote 2 if you think it's Zhang Youxia. Vote 3 if you agree with me that neither is in control, at least for now. So let's see what people think. I think that would be a very interesting survey for us to find out. Okay, let's give it some time when people vote, and then could someone let me know the result in like 5 minutes? So while we wait, I want to tell you a little bit about my tea, because I released my anniversary video, and I've seen people commenting on my mozzarella cheese, tea with mozzarella cheese. I want to tell you how I came up with it. I actually drink a blend of Assam and jasmine tea in the morning with milk. And one day I ran out of milk. I didn't have milk, so I looked around in my refrigerator and I saw mozzarella cheese. So I was like, maybe I should put some, there are tiny little mozzarella cheese balls. And I said, maybe I put them in my tea. Hopefully they will melt. And then they will, become liquid-like, or at least they will melt to some extent and just be like milk. And it'll become a milk tea. And so I put a couple of mozzarella cheese balls into my tea, and they didn't melt, but it changed texture. And they become very, very chewy, and the texture is very interesting. And the taste also changed a little bit. And I loved it. So I have been drinking it ever since. So I tell you, it's like some of the greatest dishes, some of the greatest recipes all came from some random, it came from situations when people ran out of ingredients. Like I heard that tiramisu, the famous Italian dessert, was made by a wife who wanted to make a dessert for her husband who was leaving for war, right? And that's all the ingredients she could find. And then she came up with tiramisu. And then the Chinese dish, 醉鸡, chicken in wine sauce, was invented by a woman when she didn't have soy sauce and other key ingredients in her kitchen. And so she came up with, she only had wine and something else. And so she, developed this famous dish, chicken in wine sauce. So yeah, it was my random, it was a moment when Lei ran out of milk. And so she used mozzarella cheese instead. Okay, all right. Let's see what people say. Mozzarella was hilarious. Some people say it's a crazy idea, and some people said they want to give it a try. So those of you who have tried it, let me know, how you like it. Anna, as you can see, was not too crazy about the idea. Anyways, let's see what people say. 1, 2, or 3. Wow, a lot of 3s. Some 1s, some 2s. Anyone? If we have, let's wait a little bit to see how people voted in the official vote. And I'm curious. I'm just curious to see what people say. Okay, let's see. Lei, are you doing a Christmas album this year? Should I? What about what? Give me a subject. If you have ideas for a Christmas video, let me know. Lei freestyling. Constraint is the mother of contrient is the mother of invention. Yeah. Okay. Here's kiwi green. Talk by gooey. Try gooey cheese sometime. We'll add a nutty flavor, maybe. It does have a nutty flavor. The cheese become very gooey, chewy. Anyways, can someone tell me the survey result? I'm just curious. All right, let me see if people have questions. CMC, no questions. I'm just, because I can't see survey results for the strangest thing. If it's, oh, as someone commented, Kiwi Green, you talked about the midnight emergency broadcast on November 28th in Yunnan. It gave me chills, like something bad will happen. Yes, there were random loud broadcasts at midnight or in the middle of the night in Yunnan, where the official state media was broadcasting like Xi Jinping's important notice or words or something. Because it broke the silence in the deep of the night. It was alarming because people woke up from their sleep to hear the loudspeaker outside their window broadcasting Xi Jinping's words or whatever they was about something he said. I think it could be a malicious. It could be a malicious attack on Xi Jinping, engineered by one of his opponents in Yunnan. Because, I mean, the way people understands the risk if they openly oppose Xi Jinping. So in Chinese, we say 高级黑. It's like well, there must be English word in that. It's you go to the opposite. Like you praise Xi Jinping, you go out of your way to praise Xi Jinping to the point that it sounds corny. It sounds like irrational. And that's what people do. That's what Chinese have been doing to ridicule Xi Jinping. So I think it could be engineered by someone who want to make a statement to ridicule Xi Jinping. So they broke into, I don't know, the broadcast system, the public broadcasting system, the loudspeaker, because China has a lot of loudspeakers in public places. And they just play these random clips of Xi Jinping, state media announcement. I mean, what the broadcast said was insignificant, but the timing and then the nature it was played was significant because it turned people off. I mean, who wants to be awakened by an official announcement from the head of the party right in the middle of the night? So I think it's staged. It was an act of protest, but done in a very conniving way. All right, so let's see. All right, so the survey says 23% Xi Jinping, 28% Zhang Youxia, and 48% says none. Wow, I'm surprised that so many people agree with me because I really don't know. I think I would normally agree that Zhang Youxia is in control. I mean, I almost came up with that conclusion a month ago, but the fact that Zhang Youxia has not been seen in public for over a month bothers me. And also the fact that it was He Weidong, his adversary, his opponent, who broke the news of Admiral Miao's investigation or downfall to the PLA is significant. So that's why it was hard for me to decide. So no one is 48%. Wow. Okay. Someone says, health and wealth channel. I want to broadcast my love for a girl in the middle of the night. All right. Okay. Well, go ahead. All right. But do you have to do that outside her house? You have to do that outside her house. You wouldn't do that thousands of miles away. I mean, if people want to show their love for Xi Jinping, they will have to do that right outside Zhongnanhai. Why would they do that in Yunnan, like thousands of kilometers away, in the south, right? So, all right. It's sarcasm, yeah. So how does, okay, Tommy Nick, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, X Zai-song, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Tommy Nick, okay. China's nuclear power plant all over Europe. And how is it a game changer tied in with the Belt and Road? China's nuclear power plant. China's nuclear power plants are all over Europe. And how is it a game changer? Really? China's nuclear power plants are all over China? I mean, are all over Europe? How did Europe allow that to happen? I need to look into that. I have not heard about it. So let me know, share with me information if you have information. Okay, so here's a question from Luna SSR. PLA China is more new modern with many strategy management money. The bottom is battle staff soldier in map action, or I think some words are missing probably. I can't really figure out what the question is. So if you could try to ask me again, I'd appreciate that. All right. This may be Winnie the Pooh. Kiwi Green. I agree with Lei. This makes most sense. No one appreciates Xi at 12 a.m. Okay, so here's a question from Claire Ivers. Is any of this because of the submarine that didn't close its lid? But the submarine incident was a while ago. Oh, you mean all of this as a result of submarine accident? Well, there are other. I think it will be if it's okay. So the question is, did Xi Jinping take down the head of PLA HR because the Navy suffered a catastrophic accident, right, with its submarine? I don't think so, because he would have to hold other people responsible for in the Navy to be responsible for that accident. It will cost him politically to actually remove his political officer, his highest ranking military officer who handles loyalty and political work and HR because of one incident. That would be the kind of thinking in the West, right? You hold them accountable for. But with Xi Jinping, I don't think so. It would be too costly for him. Then that, if he did that, that means Xi Jinping would have, it would equate to Xi Jinping admitting that he is responsible for the accident with the submarine. And he could not afford to admit that. So he wouldn't. So there's no way he would bring down Miao Hua because of the submarine accident. So that's my answer to your question. All right. Okay, here's another question. How does a domestic counterintelligence operation benefit a perpetrator? when you say domestic counterintelligence operation, you mean Chinese domestic counterintelligence operation? Benefit? I just need to understand, is that Chinese and perpetrator also a PLA perpetrator? I just need you to specify. Sorry, need you to specify a little bit more. All right, here's a question. Mint creative gifts and ideas. What is Zhang's motivation to take down Xi? To stay in power, or he's reformist? Who is backing him since all CCP are corrupt? Okay, good, very good question. Now, Zhang Youxia is said not to be, he's actually not interested in becoming the CCP leader or someone to replace Xi Jinping. But if he didn't do that, he was under a lot of pressure. If he didn't do that something to fight back, then Xi Jinping would have removed him, because the previous defense minister Li Shangfu is a mentee of Zhang Youxia, and also the rocket force. Many of the people in the rocket force are also affiliated with him. So the fact that the rocket force was corrupt, the fact that his the man he appointed the fact that Li Shangfu was in trouble, all spelled trouble for Zhang Youxia. So, and also Zhang Youxia's biggest challenge to Xi Jinping is his name, because Xi Jinping believes in prophecy, and one of the Tang Dynasty prophecies said that there will be one warrior with a sword who will enter the palace from the east side, who will pronounce like a white-headed man, and then one person will die, and then 10,000. The majority of people will be safe. So that prophecy has warned Xi Jinping about a guy whose name contains sword, and who is going to stage a coup against him, because Xi Jinping is widely known as the white-headed man, because his name Xi in Chinese is made up of two characters, white feather. So that Tang Dynasty prophecy is something on Xi Jinping's mind. And Zhang Youxia's name, Xia means warrior or knight. And then his name Zhang has a bow or a sword. Actually, gong is actually not sword. I'm sorry, gong, a bow. So his name spells troubles for him. And so he was, remember, if you follow me, if you follow my channel last fall, I did a number of programs talking about the predicament that Zhang Youxia was in, how much trouble he was in. He was sidelined. He was seated at the far end, far corner of the Politburo when they had a meeting. So he was on his way out. He was going to be pushed out by Xi Jinping. And I think to defend himself, he fought back. And this happened during Xi Jinping's acclaimed alleged illness during the third plenum. Anyway, I've covered this in my previous programs. But Zhang Youxia isn't interested. He just wants to, he's childhood friend with Xi Jinping. So he's not afraid to let him know how he feels about that. He's not interested in overthrow him, but he wants Xi Jinping to do the right thing for the military and for the people. And so that's what he's after. And he's supported by other former CCP leaders. So I don't think Zhang is that ambitious. All right, so that's all. Oh, I see a super sticker from Cuz. I love that. I love the short name. It's very easy for me to pronounce, and thank you for the support. Okay. All right, I think I've answered all the questions. I hope this is helpful. All right, that's all. I will see you later. Stay well, and I will see you next week, or actually this week. All right, bye-bye.